I play the game with no timeouts. You ride my wave, you're getting wiped out. Big mistakes, get white out. I spot you like a lighthouse. Watch your moves like a night owl. On a full moon, wolves gon' howl. Can't bounce back, no rebounds. I show up like me how.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Tip Off. I am your host, Iceman the Eskimo. Y'all see who I got in the building today? Y'all know what we finna to do. What up, Pod?
What's going on, son?
Ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Ready to chop it up. Talk
How
about
was
these
your
draft picks.
How was your basketball All-Star weekend?
Yo, I watched. I'll say I watched more college basketball than I did the All-Star weekend. You know what I mean? I
Oh,
watched a little bit of dunk contest. I watched the 3-point contest because Cam was in there. But other than that, I really didn't want to see too much. You know what I mean?
yeah, I didn't I accidentally flipped to it a couple times. Like I wasn't enjoying. I watched all the marquee college games, and the real thing that I spent way too much time watching was the Nike Hoop Summit,
Yeah.
watching Basketball Without Borders.
Uh-huh.
They got some phenomenal young talent. So, like if you if we had a strategic GM for our team, I would
Mm-hmm.
say, yo, my joint just did a madness. Excuse me. Um, if I watch too much of those other, like the NBA All-Star weekend, I'm just seeing players that I can't get, and I now
Right.
feel like I watched All-Star weekend, and it was nothing but players that I can't get. Like, I mean, Basketball Without Borders, AJ DeBanza, Darren
Right.
Peterson, all these
Right.
guys, and we don't have a team that tanks, so we not getting them either. Like, we got to look at free agents, but that's neither here nor there, man. Well, let's accomplish this mission.
Right. So today, y'all listening out there, we're gonna talk about the 2025 draft, right? So me and Pod gonna go through, pick two players, 1 to 10, 10 to 20, and 20 to 30, and 31 to 41, or 30 to 41, whatever. You know what I mean? We're gonna pick two players each that we would draft within those numbers. You know what I mean? So I hope y'all prepared. Y'all better write some of this stuff down. You know what I mean? You heard? And
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off the
So
draft board. But I
what if we
huh?
what if we match though, right? Like, can we make the
Huh?
rules that we can't pick the same two? Because we might just
Yeah,
pick the same two across the board and not talk about all the players. So if
right.
you
We
go
can yeah, we can do
first,
that.
yeah, if you go first, right? You make
Yeah.
you make the pick. You know what I'm saying? And
Uh,
then if I go first, I make the first two picks, and then you make the first. Then you make the your two.
all right, we bet. That's a bet. We could do that. So we don't So we give them
We
a
talk more
outlook at
about more
different players.
players. You know.
Right, right. I got you. That's what we're gonna do right now. So hope y'all ready. Hope y'all got y'all pens and y'all pads out. You know what I mean? All right, so 1 to 10. You know what I mean? Who you got?
1 through 10. I'm gonna give you
Yeah.
my two
Who's your
favorite
one?
players in this draft.
All
I'm gonna
right.
give you Ace Bailey, 6'10", should be six
Correct.
eleven by the time he steps on an NBA court or
Mm-hmm.
during that process. We've seen it happen. We've seen Giannis grow into a monster, and and young guys get
Uh-huh.
bigger. Like, I'm sure if you looked at young pictures of the both of us, we were both slim. I'm 245 right now.
Right.
Shit, in high school I played football at 172 pounds. So dudes
Right.
get bigger, right?
Yeah, they
I'm
do.
saying
Yeah,
Ace is
that's
gonna
true.
get bigger, but Ace is the obvious one, right? You just can't
Yeah.
say no to the length and possibly the reason why he takes so many bad shots is because neither one of the defenders that's on him is gonna block that shot. He's got a 9 foot
Right.
four release point.
Right.
If you releasing that thing with that high and with that athleticism, nobody's stopping your offense. You
Yeah.
stop
By
your offense.
yourself. Right.
But the guy I really want to talk about, because not a lot of people talk about him. Well, if they're starting
Mm-hmm.
to, is Trey Johnson. Trey
There it is. Yeah.
Johnson is the best scorer in this draft.
All
Trey
right.
Johnson, Trey Johnson, I call him bag alert. You know, I call him two things. One, I gave him the nickname of Baby Jesus because he does what Joe Johnson does now, but even Joe
Yeah.
Johnson didn't do that in college. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's not the way Joe played.
At first,
So
no.
but he became that in the NBA. This kid is that now. His
Right.
crosses, hezzies, step backs, and, and he could even post up, everything.
Right.
The only problem with him is he plays no defense, yo.
None.
He plays, yo, him and Cam Thomas together in a backcourt would be rough
Mm-hmm.
if I'm thinking of it from the Nets point of view. But if I'm just thinking of two players that I would take top 10, Trey
Uh-huh.
Johnson, Ace Bailey, that's the movement right there. I think you need the score. You need that go-to guy for the end of games. And
Right.
Trey shows you he could do it. Ace less because because Dylan Harper has the ball in his hands. You're gonna
Uh-huh.
see Ace do things in the NBA that you didn't see him do in college,
Right.
which is why I like both of these players, because college basketball is congested. The the paint, you could stick three people in there and there's not going to be any illegal defense called. So
Right.
it's much more clogged. So for you to score and get to the basket, it's difficult, especially when you're not strong. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially when you're not physical like a Dylan Harper is, or Cooper Flag. Them going to
Right.
the basket, they're more physical, and they get there. The
Right.
These two, um, uh, Trey Johnson is a better scorer. I mean, is stronger too than Ace, and
Right.
and part of it is because, uh, but um, Ace gets the bump for the height, but Ace doesn't have the physical strength. That's why he gets knocked off his path. That's why he doesn't go to the basket as much, is because he's not strong enough yet. But
Right.
strong is something that these guys are gonna get. They're gonna learn NBA systems, and when they're playing in NBA space with a
Oh, yeah. It's all
40%
right.
shooters on their left and their right,
Yeah.
they they're gonna look way different, way different. So
Right.
that's my two. Who you got?
All right. So I'm looking at Tankathon right now, right? So my two, because you pick, my guy is Ace two, but I'm gonna go with top 10. I would go, I would probably go, you know what? I like VJ. I would go with VJ.
I like VJ too.
I like I like VJ. And I'm gonna tell everybody why I like VJ. I'll probably go with VJ first, right? Because Ace is my
Mm-hmm.
guy. But I go VJ. VJ, watching him over the weekend, he's very explosive. Very explosive. And I
Yes.
don't think defenders understand how explosive he is until he gets close enough to rise up on them. You know what I'm saying? Moving at that speed. I still think he needs to learn how to control his speed just a little bit more, when to
Mm-hmm.
slow down, when to speed up, and work on his three ball, which is getting better.
If he had a hezzy,
But
if he had a better hezzy package, he'd be incredible. Because if he could
yes,
stop and go with that speed, like if he could just put his foot in the ground and be gone,
right,
that would help him. But I think what happens with a lot of these players when they're this athletic, it takes them longer to figure out how to play without their athleticism,
right,
right?
and
At
without,
Lou High,
yeah,
he was just
yeah,
raising up and dunking on everybody,
right,
And
right,
in college, you had to add a little bit. And he added to his bag.
Right.
during this year. He's gotten better. He didn't start off the season like we saw him in the Olympics. So
Right.
he yeah,
Wrestling.
nah, he just needs to learn that first step thing and try to keep from getting injured. You know who he reminds me of? You remember Steve
Oh,
Francis?
yes. Yeah. The franchise. Yeah. Maryland, baby.
Remember the dunks he used to get? Yo, off one
Yeah.
foot? Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy dunk.
Crazy. Yeah.
Franchise.
Yeah. But you go
All
ahead. I'm
right.
sorry. I'm just adding on to you.
Right. And then, because you picked Trey, so I'm gonna go Mally Watch. Come on, right? Watching him too. I didn't really want to watch too many Duke games. They got a loaded team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say somebody's name that I hope is don't go back, but he might go back in college. Isaiah Evans. I like Isaiah Evans. He's not in the first round. You know what I mean? But I would pick him up. But I'm gonna go. Come on, come on. I know people think sometimes that he doesn't do enough, but they got to understand what type of team he's on, right? You seen he gave you a little bit of something what he did in South Sudan team. He gave you a little something, tell you that he has qualities that can be shaped up, worked on. He's big enough, he's quick enough. He can guard on the perimeter, not great, but good enough. He can move his feet. Not a I don't want to say he's not a great shot blocker, but he's a good shot blocker. And I think playing with better players in a better system, better coach, and I think his skills will pop more than it does at Duke.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna
He
go
would
there. What you
be
got? Go ahead.
he would be just to comment on him right quick.
Uh
He immediately fixes a defense. No
huh.
matter who your defenders are, if you got Common behind you, 7'2", got nice physicality to him.
Yep.
The Duke year was good for him because he got to it's not Euro ball, it's not playing ball in Africa. This kid was discovered by Masai Ujiri,
Yeah.
and all those dudes coming from Africa may not have the skill, like skill, but what they
Right.
do have, I like especially his group coming from the Sudan. What's boy name from that built that team? I'm trying to remember his name. Played for the Bulls.
Uh.
Um, Luol Deng, my bad.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Luol
Luau.
Deng
Yeah.
is raising all of these little basketball puppies in Africa, and all of them learn to play defense. So
Right.
you're gonna see dudes block shots before they dunk. You're gonna see dudes, not have hezzy and all that crazy. They're not gonna
Right.
show the dribble package, but all of them are gonna play athletic, fiery defense. And
Yes.
Common is no different. He's just a center. And
Right.
when's the last time the Nets had a 7'2" center? Like you could get a
She. Right.
7'2" kid that's only 19 years old by the time your training camp starts.
Right.
That's a great pick, man.
Yep.
Salute to you on that. He fixed a lot of teams.
Yep. All right. Let's go. Where we going? 10 to 20.
Yep.
Right? 10 to 20. Oh, this group right here. You know what I mean? We're gonna go, yeah. So
This is where
or
it
or
starts to
11,
stink.
11 or 11 to 21, I should say. Right?
Oh, I
One to
did it.
10,
I
and then
did it wrong. One of my players
uh-huh.
is misconstrued. But go ahead.
Right,
We
right.
work it
So
out. You go
or we can
first this
go
time.
1 to 10 or all right, we're gonna go 10 to 20. We can keep it 10 to 20,
10 to
right?
20.
And then go
Bet.
10 to 20, yeah, 10 to 20. So you're my number one guy, yo, is Jeremiah Fairs. They got him on number 11 on Tankathon. Jeremiah quick. He's fast.
It
He
sure
looks
is.
he looked to me the way he handled the ball, he kind of looks ambidextrous. Either hand is fine, he's fine with it. He has turnover problems, but I think he'll get better. He has time to grow. He can shoot the three ball. He's not shooting it well though, not yet at least. And he could get anywhere on the floor. He can get anywhere he wants to on the floor. He got enough handle, got enough speed, he got enough control, he got a high IQ, right? So I think, and I heard the same thing too. He reminds me of Russell Westbrook, not full Russell, but a
Mm-hmm.
little bit. He has a little bit of Russell in him. So I would go
Right.
with Jeremiah at that pick, right? And then my second pick. Ooh, the second pick. If I had to pick in this, um, I say, you know what? Out of these guys, oh no, I go Noah Senge. I pick. He's number 10.
You got my
I go,
guy.
yo, I go with Noah. You know
Good
what I mean?
choice.
Yeah, I go with Noah. Untapped potential right there. I think for him, sky's the limit for him. He's not grown into his body yet, as you said,
Yep.
but he still does things that you don't think he would do. Right? When
Right.
I watch him, he rebounds well, he runs the floor well, he gets the spots well. Still need to work on his jumper, his three ball, but he has all the tools though. He has all the tools. Like I said, you can get him with the right coach in the right system, and there's no telling what there's no telling what he could do. But go ahead.
Yeah. First of all, I like both of your picks.
Yeah.
um, they probably would have been my two.
Right.
But I just to say about two players that I really like. I think Noah Senge might be the best player out of Europe this year.
Okay.
I watched him the other day play against a dude. I was like, this don't even look fair. He's 7 feet, hairy ass Greek dude, 40 years old, late 30s, still playing in EuroLeague, and
Right.
he just dominated him. They put 2 and 3 dudes down there. He's just rebounding. And I
Right.
think rebounding is something that translates to the NBA. If you were a good college rebounder, you're going to be a good NBA rebounder. And that kid,
One shot.
like real talk, like he could score too, and he could shoot the three. Even though he's shooting a poor percentage, it's a very
Yeah.
poor percentage right now. But
Yep.
I like him. He's 6'10", 6'11". He's younger. He's either the exact same age or younger than Cooper, who's super
Right.
young, who
Right.
reclassified into this class. So
Exactly.
and a lot of them is young. This is the first draft year where you don't have a bunch of 19 and 20-year-olds going as freshmen. If you
Right.
look at Cade Cunningham, some of those guys that's on the Rockets team, some of those guys on Detroit's team, those dudes are like 20. They came into they were left back so that they would do better on the circuits and get drafted higher. But people are onto that now. Now people are really
Right.
zeroing in on the ages. And you
Yeah.
pick,
Yeah. Yeah.
and the two guys you pick are the two youngest guys in the draft. Like, because I think Cooper and Noah are the same age.
Uh huh.
This
Jeremiah.
Fears turned 18 during the college season. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like maybe a month or two before Cooper did. But if
Yeah.
you look at him and then you look at his brother, his brother now shows you what he may turn into. A little bit
Right.
more diesel, little bit,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Bigger
like you can
body.
see what
Yeah.
he could grow into because you
Right.
see his older brother. His older
Right.
brother don't have that flicker, and you know what I'm saying? Jeremiah's faster. But
Yeah.
love that kid, love Noah Senge, but let me give you my two.
All right.
So since you since you took Noah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk about my guy Derek Queen,
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Now, Derek Queen, I call him Black Jokic.
Chill.
That boy is nasty, yo. But he's
Unreal.
nasty in a different way. It's like I feel like he could have played ball in the 80s and the 90s
Mm-hmm.
and been physical and did like honestly, when I look at him physically and people are always saying he's fat. Yeah, he was chubby last year.
Yeah.
This year, he looked like Moses Malone to me, build wise. I know that's a crazy sin. Moses Malone's one of my. I curse the Knicks to this day because I found out that when the Nets were coming to the league, they were supposed
Mhm.
to stay in New York, and they were gonna bring Moses Malone, and I mean they already had Dr. J. They were gonna
Right.
pair Moses Malone and Dr. J up
Ooh.
because Moses wanted to play in New York, and the Knicks forced the Nets to New Jersey,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
also sapped their money because they made them pay
That
that
fee.
fine to get
Yeah.
into the league.
Yeah.
So when
Mhm.
to operate close to New York, because New York considered New Jersey, Connecticut, New York their territory. So
Right.
they forced Jersey to New York, and Moses Malone was like, and his people was like, nah, fuck that. I'll go over here somewhere else.
Right.
Why am I gonna go play in New Jersey? Right?
Right.
And you know what happened with Dr. J. They had to trade him
Yeah, they
to
traded.
use
Yeah.
that money. But one of my favorite players of all time is Moses Malone, and Derek Queen, man, yo, he's a little bit of Moses Malone and a little bit of uh uh Jokic. Seriously,
Yeah.
man, watch him
Yeah.
rebound. Like people like to talk about what happened with when played
Rutgers.
Maryland played Rutgers, how he
Uh-huh.
dominated.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One, take it easy. He's the fault with him is that he's 20 years old. The other
Uh-huh.
fault with him is he may not measure 6'10".
Right.
So Yegor Demin is dropped
Okay.
down into this area now. So
Yeah.
Yegor Demin I like, especially when I'm talking about the Nets, because the
Mm-hmm.
wrong thing to do, I don't care. If I can't get the other ones, then I'm taking Trey. Um, but if you could get someone like Yegor Demin to go next to a Cam Thomas, that's the
Uh-huh.
perfect mix because now you have a point guard that fixes the fact that he's a little bit undersized,
Right.
and you have a you have a small forward, hopefully, that'll have
Uh-huh.
length as well. So a small Cam Thomas there to score and do his thing, and with a player like Yegor who doesn't really want to shoot that much, he's gonna have to in the NBA, and I think he could
Yeah.
get there. But he's 6'9" and he's got incredible court vision. So if you could get that into our club, it would help, I think. But it's gonna take him a couple of years. The crazy thing with Yegor is I like his teammate in Real Madrid. They won championships together. Hugo
Uh-huh.
Gonzalez.
Oh, you
Hugo's
like
only
Hugo.
six
Okay.
six. Hugo had the ball more. Remember when the mock drafts first came out? They had
Yeah.
Yegor above. I mean, they had Hugo
Hugo.
Gonzalez in the top
Yeah,
10
higher.
above
Yeah.
Yegor. That's because
Yeah.
they played together. And when they played together, Hugo had the ball, 6'6"
Mm-hmm.
point guard, Real Madrid,
Uh-huh.
and kind of like what took away from Yegor's game was that he didn't have the ball in his hand as much. So going to college and leaving Real Madrid, which is possibly number one or two Euro team in all of Europe,
Yeah.
one of the two is going to be great, if not both. But they
Right.
both like literally like canceled each other out when they were teammates. So I'm looking at Hugo Gonzalez further down the road, but Yegor Demin is there.
Good take him.
You got it. If you can get Yegor, if you can mix Yegor and Derek,
Uh-huh.
that's a nice little. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody
Right.
falls to you with that Bucks pick,
Uh-huh.
it could be nice, man. It could be nice.
All right, we're gonna go to 20 to 30. I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
All right. So this is where things get janky.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would say the best college player
In this area.
this year is Johnny Broom. Have you watched Johnny?
Yes. I had him on my I got him on my draft board. I wasn't sure at first, but when I kept watching him, I was like, maybe he could be something. Go ahead and talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, he's older. You know what I'm saying? He's 22 years old. The only person I think that would go before him, maybe Cam Jones. I like Johnny Broom better than Cam Jones. But all right. Let me not be a punk about it. So based off talent, this is separate from the Nets. Just talent between 20 and 30.
Right.
I think the best players you got there is probably a mix between Boogie Flan and Jackson. Ian Jackson is bad for the Nets. See Cam Thomas, but with correct. Neither one of those guys would be good for the Nets. But when I'm just talking about sheer talent from 20 to 30 guys who could be there, I would go. I would say that you'd be hard pressed. Now, there's some good defenders down there. Adu is good. Is a great defender. And I don't know. Like they have Thomas Sorber going kind of high. I think he might go down there, but you'd be very lucky if he did. But it depends on if people load up on Euros. But nonetheless, the idea is you could get a talent like Boogie Flan that's all speed and flash and like he's really good, or you could take a guy like Ian Jackson that's instant offense, that's not going to be a bust in the league, that is definitely an NBA talent and you're going to win with. But they don't fit for our team, so it's kind of it's one of those where it's just like, yo, it's more about the pick than it is about the fit.
Right. I got you. So I got two guys, and it's a hard choice. You know what I mean? Because it's actually four, like you said. There's a couple guys I would pick. But if I had two picks, and I was iffy on this guy too, Rasheer Fleming. I was iffy on Rasheer Fleming. I had to watch him a couple
I love
times.
Rasheer.
Yeah, I was iffy.
That's a good one.
And then I watched him. I'm like, yo, hold up. Maybe he could he look like he can do some damage. You know what I mean? He got good shooting. Yeah, good shooting, rebounding, defense. He could run the floor too. You know what I mean? Good catch and shoot guy. And I was like, Rasheer Fleming. You know what I mean? I didn't have him on my draft board. But the second guy too, right? I would say Danny Wolf, but I'm not gonna say Danny Wolf, folks. You know what I mean? But my other guy is Alex
I don't think
Caravan.
Danny Wolf should be in this area. I don't think Danny Wolf should be 20 to 30.
Yeah, you think he should
like
be back?
him. He puts up numbers. Like there's some people who don't watch games; they just look at box scores and then they show up on Twitter. Yeah, I want to draft Danny Wolf. Like Danny Wolf fills up the box score,
the
but
stat sheet. Yeah,
but he's Brian Scalabrine, number 2. Like he's.
I heard you say that.
He's not.
I heard you say that.
He's all right, but he's not real. Too slow, man. You should watch these dudes drag themselves up and down the court, man. It's a little crazy.
Yeah, he got handles. That's what people are attracted to, the handles and the size, because he's big. But my guy is Alex Caravan.
He has a hell of a bag, yo. He has a hell of a bag. I just don't know who he's gonna be able to use it against because he's not fast.
Right.
He will be. No, I think he will be an NBA player. I think he will play 10 years in the NBA. He's skilled.
Yeah, definitely skilled.
He's just gonna be a slow dude off the bench,
right?
Or he's gonna be Jokic. Like he's like that.
Right.
Like he fills up the stat sheet. I don't trust him because of the speed, man. I think the NBA is still an athletic league, and I think even the big men, I think they need speed.
Right. So, second guy for me I would like to choose Danny Wolf, but I'm gonna go Caravan. I don't think people understand how good Caravan is, man.
Caravan
Caravan,
is really
he's
good,
impressive.
man.
He, yeah, yeah. Caravan, he does everything: block shots, defense, rebound, shooting, passing. He's like, I forget what the dude name is on that played for Cleveland that comes off the bench. Um, and he does a little bit of everything for Cleveland. Can't remember his name, but Caravan reminds me of that guy that just comes in off the bench and give you everything. You know what I mean? So I would go
Yeah.
with Caravan. I think he would fit on this team too.
Speaking on like from a Nets point of view,
Uh-huh.
if they could get a guy like Caravan with the second, with the third, excuse me, with the third and fourth picks,
Yeah.
that's a hell of a value. There,
Right.
there's a guy that's not even on here that I'll talk about when it's my turn.
All right.
Yeah, that you're gonna have to bend the rules a little bit for this guy. But go ahead, you
All
do your
right.
thing.
Yeah. All right. Now we're gonna keep it going. 30, 30, 31. Or you want to go to your guy now? We're gonna go
Okay.
30 to 40 or
Yeah.
41. Whatever.
So
All right, give me your guy.
I don't have my mock in front of me. I don't have
Uh-huh.
my mock in front of me, but the guy that I'm talking about right now
Uh-huh.
is Drake Powell. Drake Powell was
Oh,
a
they moved
lottery
Drake
pick.
back.
Drake way back.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't care. I
Yeah,
seen
they
him
were
play in
saying that
real
he
life.
might
I seen him play in
be
Pennsylvania.
40 on the in the second round. Second round behind Miles Bird.
Yo, you got
So
him
yeah,
down there? Listen to me.
yeah, that's where they got him at. Right here on Tankathon. He's number 40, right behind Miles Bird and Kalkbrenner. So if we
Shit,
did
that's you see why?
third huh? Yeah, 30 to 40, he's right there. You still there, Pod? Yo. There
On
you go. There you go.
Drake Powell.
Hold on, you breaking up again. You
On
breaking up
Drake
again.
Powell, son.
There you go. Say, you was breaking up. I ain't hear nothing. There you go. You
So
back.
I said
All right, you not
that's why no teams are willing to trade picks this year. I'm still breaking
because you
up.
got talent. Now you good. You good. Now you're breaking up.
Yo, I'm gonna just go sit right next to the modem.
All right.
Best I can. It's just messy in here. But fall to the second round. Just having good knowledge, just having understanding of who the young players are, because that kid looked like in high school looked like he was gonna be Kawhi. Like his
Okay.
defense, that North Carolina did him
Yeah.
wrong. You know what I mean? It's not even their fault. They just have a lot of talent. They have a lot of upperclassmen that are better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That Drake wasn't
Yeah.
gonna get run down there. And you see the same thing with Ian Jackson. Ian Jackson, he's more of a one-on-one, take the ball and go type of player. He's doing
Oh yeah.
okay. He's still,
Yeah.
but Drake Powell, um, he I think he's incredible, man. I would have picked him in the lottery off high school. You know what I'm saying? That kid
Right.
is a beast. Now, the kid that I really really want,
Mm-hmm.
if we don't take a center, but I just like
Uh-huh.
this kid overall. Damn it, I have a French name and I'm not remembering his name. What's homeboy
Let me
name?
see. Is he he said if we don't
Rashad, a center.
hold on,
Uh,
let me look. Let me see if he's on here.
Rashad,
He might
Rashad.
not be.
I'll give you another one if you can't find them. Um,
Nah, I don't see him. I don't see him on here.
so then I'm gonna go with my other guy, my center, Lopez. If we could get it, man, yo, you could
Oh,
walk away from this draft with 2 7-footers.
you talking about?
You
You're
know,
not talking about Maxim Reynard. You're not talking about him,
yes,
right?
that's
At
who
the
I'm
center.
talking about.
You're right.
Yes, that's who I'm
Reynard.
talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
I
got him at 51.
okay. We could get him with one of our second round picks. Like
Yeah,
he's good,
Maxim.
man. He fills up a stat sheet. He's older, still slow, not very athletic. Um, Good player though. I think him or Kalkbrenner, which are very similar, uh, could be
Yes.
somebody. But so those are
Yeah.
my two.
All right. That's what's up. Because those are my guys too. Right? I wasn't gonna pick them, but those are my guys just in case. You know what I mean? I like Maxim. Yeah, and I like Kalkbrenner. I got him on my draft board.
Yo,
But
I could talk ball with you always because even when we disagree, it's not from a point of view of like some people believe in magical shit. Some
right,
people some people don't watch the games, they just look at the stats. You know what I mean?
right,
Like if you I like to talk ball with people who watch ball, who are
right,
watching ball and are seeing like a myriad of players, because if you don't see all these players, you can't really have an understanding on whether your team did something good or not. You
right.
kind of like you just looking at the stats. You don't know the players. There's some players that don't even play 4 quarters. There's some players
Exactly.
that there's some players that's not getting a chance in college because they went to a
Right,
team with a bunch of seniors and a coach that got to win now. You know what I
right.
mean? Like there's
Sitting on the
freshmen
bench.
that are better, and if you
Yeah.
could just pick them out and
Mhm.
steal somebody like Drake Powell, yo,
Yeah.
you could be up there. But I digress. Who you got?
All right. Let me go back because you said my two guys, but I'm gonna give guys that I don't think guys fans talk about. But one of my guys is Miles Bird. Miles Bird is 39 on in the second round. Now I go with Miles Bird, right? Because at first he's another one I was watching. I'm like, yo, I don't like his style, bro. I don't like his style. And then I started really watching how he plays. I'm like, oh, he's a good defender, good on ball defender. He can shoot the three
Yeah,
ball. He's not really athletic, but he can still score. Like he gets by people, hits jumpers. You know what I mean? And it's like he has a skill set and it works. You know what I mean? It's not my liking, and that makes it different for me because I'm like, I don't even, you know what I mean? He ain't my type of player, but
yeah,
I
he's
see
just
like,
productive.
yeah, right, yeah. So I'm like, yo, if we had a
Yeah, and he gets
chance,
two. He'll get you a two dirty too, like out of the blue, like diving in. He's just a smart player.
yes,
I
yeah,
think the experience has been good to him.
right. And then my second guy in see Kalkbrenner was in he's 38. So let me
Yeah,
see
that's
who
that's my
else.
Brooke Lopez right there. That's
Yeah, yeah, right.
he
Let
gives
me
me
go a
those
little
vibes.
further. Let me go a little further and see who else is on here that I would take as my second guy that you didn't mention. Oh, so I know we talked about him on Breezy's podcast, but Dink Paint he's at 44. He's on my
Ooh,
draft board too.
they
So
got him
Dink,
falling that far. Oh
yeah,
my
they got him
god! If
44.
you asked me, I would have been
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he was in like the 20s somewhere." No, yo,
Nah. Yeah, they got him at 44. So I would take Dink. You know what I mean? They got
they
him
used
as
to
a
talk about Dink like
small.
he was Dylan. They
Exactly.
like the next 6'8" point guard. He's
Right. Right. They got him
going
listed as a
down
small forward
going
on here,
down to
but he
the.
does play point guard. Go ahead.
I mean, he does both. He became a scoring wing this year. Last year he was
Uh-huh.
a last year
On
he
the
was
point.
a point guard.
Uh-huh. So yeah, man.
He's
That
he's
is my
one that
second.
could do it, yo. He could Yeah, he can. He's a good player,
He can
man.
do
I
it.
just don't.
Yeah, right.
I,
Yeah. So there are a lot of guys. There's still a lot of guys in the second round that's nice. You know what I mean? Like,
somebody's gonna get an all-star from the second round,
yeah,
right? Like people
yeah.
have now made me the tank ambassador. It's not about that. It's not about it,
Oh
like
man.
it's not about tanking forever. It's the
Right,
opportunity that this draft gives you, a
right,
team that is devoid of talent. And it's not even your fault that, like, if you the GM, it's not even your fault that they're devoid of talent. You had three superstars who demanded trades, that the market was bad. I'll give you all of that. But if you don't find top three talent,
right.
guys you know are gonna go to the All-Star game, to be Team USA, guys you know, kids can play on 2K and be like, and
Yeah,
can actually win with. You know what I
right,
mean? These things are important. Um, for the atmospherics of a team, not necessarily for the nuts and bolts of a team, but that's just, you want that glow back into the Barclays Center. You heard Cameron the other day and Mace talking
saying
about they
and
shooting
they
dice.
rolling dice. Yeah, yeah.
you know, I won't make it a long thing about this, but you know what that really was about. Like, them dudes just gotten rich, and when they go places and they don't see a lot of white people, they don't feel comfortable. And that's
Yeah,
one of
no
the
more.
things that
Yeah,
I will always respect Jay-Z for, is that he said he wasn't going to participate in, that whole ownership thing and bringing
right,
Barclays Center to Brooklyn unless they
right,
agreed to hire the kids out of the projects.
right.
So when you see characters that look like characters, they're
Uh-huh.
just kids. And
Right,
Barclays Center specifically are giving those kids, black kids that look like me and you growing up,
right.
um, you know what I mean, a chance to work there. But I think the Nets are having one of those like bad vibes all type of shit right now, and we got to fix it and fix it soon. That's what this draft can do for you. You could get one plus out of this draft. You could fuck around and get and do what OKC did with picking the two Williams brothers and Chet all in one draft. If you do
Right.
this right, you could, you don't have to tank for 4 or 5 years like most teams. You got the coach. You got lucky to be drafting in a draft where you could get someone like Thomas Sorber, 15 and down, where you could get somebody like Dwight Powell in the second round. I don't think he's gonna go in the second round, but he may. You know what I'm saying? You get a guy like Drake. Excuse me, I said Dwight Powell. Drake Powell, and you have two blue chip players or one blue chip player above him. You have no worries then, because if he works out, not only do you got these guys under control,
Yep.
under contract, in a crazy CBA that got players, only the top players making money now, and you could do a lot of things, man. This draft is incredible. This draft is incredible. Like, what's your takeaway from the draft in terms of
Right.
like
So
how the Nets can use it to rebuild themselves?
Yeah, yeah, I heard the
Like,
question.
like
Question,
do you
right?
do you see
So
it the
I
same
think,
way?
yeah, yeah, I see it the same. I always see it the way you see it, right? Because I want Ace. You know what I'm saying? My number one is Ace. But I also see it, if we don't get there because we don't get there, then I can see that, like we talking about these players, it's just pieces, right? You can get
Yeah,
enough pieces, and you, like you said, you can get lucky and find yourself a little all-star in the second round or late in the draft. You can find one of them, and you know what I mean, and luck out, because you won't be good that year that you got 4 or 5 draft picks, right? So
right.
my thing is, you get another, you naturally get another chance, right? Because I don't think most of the guys going to be there, like you were saying, and
Yep.
5
I call
rookies
it an
on one team.
organic
Like, bro,
tank.
you
It's not a nasty
right,
tank like
right,
like this year. Like, winning games this year with guys that's not going to be here when they're good again doesn't make any sense, because you're building a
yeah, I
culture, but
understand
none
it.
of these people going to be a part of the culture. like maybe
Right.
3 players. But and
Right.
the Nets might draft 6 players next year. That team could look completely different. And then they could go in the
That's
next
what I'm
year.
saying.
They could go in the next year
Right.
trying hard, playing for Jordy, instead of, wasting your time with these vets, that don't
Right.
that aren't gonna be here. They just like winning would be cool, right? If it was D'Lo at 22, Karras at 22,
Right.
Jared Allen at 19. If you're
Right.
winning and can't be stopped with that team, you're thinking, okay, these guys could go to a certain,
Level.
level,
Yeah.
and you could just add on to them. But that's not what they did. I don't know if that's what Sean Marks does, but I almost feel like that team would have been better than what we got now. Like
And probably
I
would
don't
have.
know.
Coaching is
I just think
everything.
this draft, if you watch these players, like
Uh-huh.
when I watch Ace, I see a player that is just gonna like it just it if it doesn't work out, it's not basketball. It's at home shit. Cause he has everything right now. His mom was in the or his aunt was in the WNBA. So
Yeah.
there's basketball in his veins.
Yeah.
But he's not Dylan though. Like Dylan, you could tell that his father's an NBA player. You could tell
Yeah.
that he understands what's at stake. And,
Right.
even sometimes when he's being a ball hog, I know his father told him in the tunnel, hey, yo, man, you playing for bigger
So you
things.
be seeing that too,
I,
though. Yeah.
yeah, hell's yeah. He was like, listen, man, I know that's your friend and all, but it's $2 million on the line between
Right.
second and the third pick. More of his money is
Right.
guaranteed if he gets picked over you. And he's 6'11". You need to go out there and fucking score that ball. Like I could see his
Right.
father having that conversation, not in a mean way, not in a way that's, messed up
Right.
for the other
Ace.
kids. It's the
Yeah.
same reason why Gilbert Arenas got his son going to USC. There's nobody over there. When he get over
Right.
there, nobody's gonna take the ball from him. He's scoring every single time as best as
Right.
he can
Yeah.
on that USC team. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So like you're gonna see kids now go to different schools than like the Dukes and the North Carolinas, because you go to Duke, if you're not Cooper Flag, you're not playing.
That's
And
I want to talk about that. Right. I'm gonna talk about that with you. Stay right there, Duke, because that dude that I'm talking about, Isaiah Evans. Now
yeah,
they say he shouldn't be on the bench. He should be in rotation. Like he's too good.
he's
But
too
going to
good.
Duke, yeah,
He
he's going
was
to Duke.
starting before though.
Was he?
Yeah, he was for a little bit, but
Yeah.
it is what it
Too
is,
much
man.
talent over there. You know what I'm
And he's
saying?
caught like in the middle. He's not one of the oldest dudes. He's not one of the youngest. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. So going to a school like that when you have his talent,
Yeah.
it kind of sucked. Everybody see you come off the bench and got a burner, but then
He would
you
have
know what I'm
been
saying,
better
then
at
you don't
Rutgers.
play. Right. Exactly. He would have made that. He would have made that better. You know what I'm
Yeah, that team is
saying?
horrible
So
around.
that's what I agree with you on that. Too many good talents at one school.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's where Sean
Yeah.
Marks has
Too
to be
many
a good
talents
GM.
at
The
one.
scouting department. I'm sorry. The scouting department has to find these guys, because there's guys sitting on the bench that didn't even play. That's good. Like we know Drake, he don't get a lot of minutes.
Right.
He starts some games, but
Right.
the ball is not in his hands. But we know watching him in high school
And it need to be.
that kid can play. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Yeah,
they
I
got to
started
figure this
watching that
out.
game because I wanted to see what him and Ian Jackson was doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I wanted to see Carolina watch.
I haven't missed the North Carolina game yet.
Yeah.
It shocks me because it's not the same. Like the basketball that we're watching is not the same as when we were younger, where Duke would have a powerhouse team and 3 guys in the starting lineup that's going to the NBA that are juniors and seniors. Now you're
Right.
looking at babies, not even really like freshmen used to not even play in college basketball. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
now to have them and to have teams on their back, like what Trey Johnson is doing in Texas and not like, which is not like what VJ is doing in Baylor. Baylor is another one of those teams. They got too many dudes. And
Yes,
that
too many.
almost ruined the season for VJ.
BJ. Yeah,
Yeah.
he got comfortable, adjusted. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I agree, man. They gotta start thinking about schools where they got enough wiggle room that a
Right.
coach will let them do them. You know what I mean? Instead of just
Right.
going to the powerhouse school where everyone 5 stars, you got 5-star recruits. You know what I mean?
Right.
Coming in every
Going to
year. You know?
UConn or Gonzaga is not a good move no more because UConn and Gonzaga are going to pick more good seniors and a junior and ride out. They're going to pick
Right.
upperclassmen and try to win the NCAAs. And, you know, that like teams like Duke are kind of stuck in the middle. They're still getting
Right.
the A+ talent, but they almost messed Common season, come on season up. You know, thank God he's so talented and that he's leaving. They let him rock. But at first
Right.
they wasn't sure if they were gonna start him, and that would have been a hell of
Exactly.
a loss for Common, you know.
Yeah, I seen that.
So
And I was like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's crazy. But yeah, man, that's what happens when you go to schools like that, right?
right.
That's maybe we gotta talk about that topic on another time, right?
We
But
we
I
probably
got a
gotta
question
get
for
that
you.
topic. Okay.
Yeah, I got a question for you because I got 2 players, right? That's not on the draft board. One was on the draft board, and one is not on the draft board. So I got 2 sleepers. I don't think most people know about, and you already know one of them, right? So do you have any sleepers? I'm gonna tell you mine. You have any sleepers? So my first one is Magoon Guaf. You already know
Ah,
Magoon.
that's so
That's
yo,
my
I
sleeper.
swear to God, me and you, yo, I was sitting there going, what's Mr. Magoo, San Diego State? What's his name? I was
Yeah,
waiting for you to stop talking and hit you with the Magoo. And you
yeah,
got me.
yeah. Magoon Guaf, right? Yo, I like
Yeah,
that dude. I
love
like
him.
that dude.
Love
Yeah,
him.
he not on the draft
Love him.
boards though. See, my other sleeper dude,
It's because he's older,
he
I think.
was in the second round. He was high, like 50s, and then he dropped down to 31, and then now he's off the board, right? But Bob Miller, and he played for the Owls. I forget what college that is, but Bob Miller's
Yeah.
another 7
Temple.
foot. Yeah, I like him. He probably needs to go in the league, but if he went undrafted or anything like that, I would scoop up Bob Miller. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You know why I wouldn't take Baba? Because the
Why?
Baba that I want is coming out in 2027. And I don't think the
26.
Nets would ever have 2 Babas on one team. Yo, I forget his
Yo.
last name, but when I say Baba in this house, we know we're talking
Uh,
about that
uh,
kid. He's in 10th grade right now, I think. And
oh
he's
yeah.
a beast. He's either in 11th grade or 10th grade. And he's a beast. So who would be my 2 off the beaten path? Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't think about this one.
Anybody.
Because the guy I
That's all
always
good.
talk about is Magoon. Um,
Yeah.
I'm only
You
gonna
got
give you.
any? So,
I'm only gonna be able to give you one, and
all
this
right. That's cool.
it's a cheesy one.
All right.
Jeremiah Fears, or is it Jeremy Fears?
All right. That's
Jeremy
cool.
Jeremy
Jeremy.
Fears is not as good as his brother, right? You can
Right.
tell the little brothers, they get to play against their older brothers, they get better faster. You know,
Right.
same thing that's happening with Dylan and his brother is happening
Yeah.
with Jeremy and Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
But
Yeah.
Jeremy has game though. Jeremy
Yes.
Jeremy has game, and but what's holding him back is the same thing we just was talking about with these colleges is they got Jace Richardson on their team. And unlike
that's who he plays with. I
so
forgot. Yeah.
Jace will go for 30 when Jeremy is not in the game, and then when Jace is not in the game, Jeremy goes for 30. So they're both guards. It's just a lot of overlap, but I think he
Right.
could play, man. Like there's been times I've turned on the game and I watched it for the whole time, and Jeremy would be killing, and then but I'm thinking in my mind the whole time that it's Jeremiah. I'm thinking
Right.
it's the
Right.
younger one. I'm like,
Right.
yo, you got Diesel. Look at him. I was like, yo, they got a hell of a weight program over there. And I
Right.
realized, oh shoot, it's the
Jeremy.
older brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
older one. Yeah. Now he can hoop though. I seen him ball. I seen both of them ball. I'm like, he can play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
got skills, but Jeremiah is just different.
Yeah, like he just has that rocket fuel in his game. Like I always say I say it too much, I think, but he could turn the corner in college, which is hard because they could pack the paint, and he just knows how to get to the rim. And for a long time, until the NCAA learned about him, they started hedging the fence. Him and
Harper.
Dylan was 1 and 2.
Yeah.
For scoring at the rim, field goal percentage at the rim. That tells you, like, if you look at the list of the last 20 years of who was top 3 in the country, all those guys are like NBA All-Stars now.
Yeah, I seen that.
You gotta pay attention to that joint. Like, like someone you mess around and you find someone that could get to the hole like that. Pause. Right. You could kill, like, and Jeremiah learned it from Jeremy, and so you know what I'm saying. I think that would be my sleeper, and I'll give you one from Europe.
Who's that?
And I'm drawing a blank on his name. He's played at Sudan. See, if I was at my desk, I probably got a picture of him up somewhere. Damn it. I'm not gonna remember for this joint, but I'll remember, and I'll bring it up the next. We should do another one of these, like closer to the, like right after. We should definitely do one right after the lottery, but because me and you are like we're hoop watchers. Me, you are out of the dudes who be on the Big Fan Breezy podcast. You know, me, you, LM, LBL. Like LBL didn't even watch college like that. But to know the players, the business that we're in, cats like that, they're gonna go watch. You know, sometimes
you gotta see
everybody what channels the shit is on. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, that's the most fun basketball to watch if you rooting for a losing team. But we're not exactly. We're a weird team. I don't know what to call. I don't know what to call what I'm seeing right now.
Right.
But that's another conversation. But I think this was fun because you know players, and the only way you could know players is not through their stats, not through the awards they win. You gotta watch, man. You gotta watch and see. You know? What I told so that's why I appreciate you. Matter of fact, salute to you. You were the one, like, when I first saw Jeremiah Fears, I was like, nah, he's too little. He's too little. He's mad young. Nobody was talking about him preseason. I didn't even see him in high school like that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no for me on Jeremiah. You was like, no. He's like that. He's like that. In the very first game, I was like, let me check out what Iceman talking about. You know?
Right.
And through the game, through the joint on, he went for 31. He's 17 years old. His birthday had just passed. I was like, this dude is a baby.
You know why? I seen first I watched his highlights. I seen a highlight. I was just scrolling by trying to get familiar with college. And I seen his highlights on YouTube. I'm like, let me check this dude out. And then his style. I seen the speed, like his first game, and I seen no look Ben Simmons type passes to the wings.
Yep.
And I was like, hold on, like he got an IQ, so let me keep watching him a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And once I see him putting stuff together, the handles, the way it looks with both hands, I'm like, oh, he got game. He could play. He could play. So I knew after I seen put it together, I'm like, oh, later on, everybody gonna catch on because he too good. You know what I mean? His skill level was way too good.
Yo, he was a top 5 pick at one time. They were mocking him at top 5. The league kind of figured him out. They're now, they know what he does now, so they do what they can to deal with his speed. But
yeah,
that kid, it's not about what he is right now at 18 years old. It's about what he is when he's 21 years old. When this kid is 22, what is he gonna be? And only reason why I'm not all in is because the Nets have to make something of all of the assets that they have. So you can't just dump Cam Thomas or trade Cam Thomas. You can't get value for him. So you got to build a team around him in a sense. You got to put bigger players at their positions because he's smaller. You got to have somebody who's not going to care about scoring that much, that can have a impact on the game without scoring. Because if you have, let's say God is good and gives us Ace, right? If you have Ace and Cam Thomas, that's an unstoppable offensive team. All you need to make it work is a point guard to help everybody score. If you could get that in a Yegor Demean and mix and match it, flip it and bounce it, you could have a hell of a team. But we'll see, my man.
Yeah, we'll see.
6 picks. Nah. I'm definitely gonna be in the even if we get the 15th pick, I'm definitely gonna be at the Clays at the draft this year, 100%. Because they're gonna call us 6 times, right?
6, yeah.
We either gonna be like, yay,
right,
or we're gonna be like,
right.
But we'll all be there together. So you should try to make that joint, yo. You should try to come through for the draft. But even if it goes bad on May 2nd, May 2nd's the day that this D-Day is when we find out what's going on. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's hope we could double up on a couple of these players if the Bucks just fall apart with Giannis calf situation.
Right.
Any news on that? Any news on that, by the way?
Nah, man. They say he was supposed to be out for 2 weeks. So I don't know how long that is. You know what I mean? If he's gonna come back
All-Star game weeks.
yeah, right.
I hope he's not back first day. Like give us a week to like fall out of 5th place. Like drop that. Because I'm trying to figure out how we get Ace and Common.
See, I be thinking the same thing because that's why I be thinking when I be doing these, writing my draft boards, I be thinking about how to build a team. So I'm like, I know I can't get Common, so I'll take Kalkbrenner. And then when you say Raynard, I'm like, Easton Raynard, that might be, you know what I mean? Like that might be nice.
They're both putting up similar numbers and they have similar profiles. Like you can't go wrong with either one of them.
So I be thinking like that
one
too.
That you like, but you gotta wait to see. When you see those players, in like the combine, and you see them like in like scrimmages, just playing against. That's when I first saw Edie.
Oh yeah.
I used to be giving my man Leaf crap about that, but I saw Edie at the combine. I was like, oh shoot, he might be cooking with gas on something. Like he's busting people's ass out here. Edie was busting people's ass out there, yo.
Yeah, man.
But we'll see, man. We'll see which one of these centers emerge. But
right. All right. So good talking. Y'all know my motto. Hey, y'all like this podcast and share. Y'all know my motto. Y'all don't gotta like, y'all don't gotta subscribe, because I don't know anything. You heard? You know what I'm saying?
Word.
I'm out.
Peace.
All right.